Hey guys, MeLikeBigBoom here, and welcome to Unturned 3.15.10.0, yet another awesome weekly update coming to you guys from Nelson. We have a new type of zombie in addition to the flaming and flanker zombies that were added last week, as well as a new airdrop system that brings the feast mod that basically every server on Unturned has to life in the vanilla version of the game. To start, I'm going to go over some of the more minor changes in this week's update. First off, could we appreciate this little home that I've created for you guys? Nice and homely. I've got my couches in my dining room and my library for all that knowledge. I built this entire house to showcase that we can now repair our homes in case of emergency. So let's say some little naked guy thought it would be a real funny joke to start throwing grenades all over your base, just for the heck of it. He just decided to be mean, and you know, grenades don't do much of anything to bases, alright? I think we all know that. You need to save these grenades to make breaching charges, but let's say somebody just wanted to be a little rude and damage basically every part of your home, so that when you go to salvage it, you will, instead of getting the full wall, you will be getting just a bunch of logs. Now we can actually see the health of objects when we look at them. You can see that my roof is now to 97%, the wall here is at 81. I mean, everything is really not at 100%. So if I were to go salvage this guy, 98%, I get a metal sheet instead of a metal floor. That's the issue when something is damaged. But now with a blowtorch, we can now repair all of these items as needed. If you come across your wall, when you log back on the server, you realize that it's down to 81%. Just blowtorch it back to 100%. It very, very, very quickly heals all your items. I definitely think it could be made slower, like way slower, because at this rate, you can basically heal a base faster than somebody can damage it. But you can still heal everything. It does take a lot of your durability. I'm already down to 72% on my blowtorch, but I can repair every aspect of my base, the roof, all this jazz, even the wooden stuff, and now it's all up to 100%, and we are good to go. Our house is in perfect condition. This whole health system has also been applied to vehicles. As you can see, there's a new health bar underneath the fuel meter right there, and then also when you're in the vehicle, you can see the vehicle's health down below. So if I were to accidentally crash this thing into a tree, you'll notice that the health went down to 83%. Before, you could only really know if a vehicle was damaged if there was smoke coming out of it, and you never really knew when this thing was going to start to catch on fire, but now you can easily see if this vehicle is down to like 10%, I can quickly get out and repair it back to 100 and be on my way. It's as simple as that. We also had a super cool change to the fuel system here. Before, the way the fuel worked is you either had a full can or an empty can of gas. When you went up to like fuel reserves like this, it would take away 20% of the fuel, and down below it would just say that your gas can is full. And then when you go to fuel up something, it would fuel it up like that. That's how the system works. But now we have the option of actually removing fuel out of vehicles, and if there is not a full tank of fuel in the vehicle, so in this case, as you can see, there's 1% of fuel in this roadster here. So if I were to take some fuel out of this by right-clicking it, I now have 4% of my jerry can filled with fuel, and I can take that 4% and I can actually put it in the fuel reserve. Now, since this is so huge, the 4% of this jerry can isn't going to create a percent in the fuel reserve, but basically we can now like be specific. We can take advantage of every single percent of fuel. Also, when you want to take fuel out of stuff, you right click, and if you want to put fuel into something, you left click. Before, it was just left click to do everything. Now they're separated into two different things. So as you can see here, I just put some fuel into this police helicopter, and now my jerry can is down to 60%, so I can choose to put this back into here maybe, and now it's down to 0%. You know, it works off of, you know, actual percentages rather than just being full and empty, so that's very nice. Now over in this corner, I have two of the new Sentry Gun types. We have the friendly Sentry Gun and the hostile Sentry Gun. Before, the Sentry Gun was just one thing. It was yellow in color. It shot at players that were not in the same Steam group as the person that put down the Sentry Gun, and if they had their hands up or if they were handcuffed, it wouldn't shoot at them. But it could be easily bypassed, because if somebody was raiding a base, let's say there was a sentry gun inside this, I could easily just surrender and then enter the base, and I could easily bypass that sentry gun and go up behind it and shoot it. So as a result, there have been two different types of sentry guns. This friendly sentry gun here is basically the old sentry gun. It works exactly like it did before. It doesn't shoot at surrendered players. Actually, I think this has been improved somewhat in that it doesn't actually shoot at anybody unless they have a weapon. So if, you know, if I were to put a weapon in here, it would be doing nothing to me, but the instant I equip this weapon, it will shoot at me. So it's smart enough to recognize that. And then also if you're surrendered, yada yada, it won't do any of that. It won't shoot at you. It's considered a friendly sentry gun. Nelson says that this would be useful to create a safe public space. You know, I guess, I mean, you want to put it in the campground and, you know, I don't know, protect yourself. I don't know why you want to use this, I guess, but I mean, yeah, it's there if you want to have a sentry gun that only shoots at people that put guns on them. I think it would be nice if it tracked in 360 degrees, and that way it would be basically impossible to bypass. But right now I think it just scans left and right full 180 degrees, so it's easily for somebody to just come up behind and then equip the weapon and destroy it and stuff. So, you know, that's a friendly sentry gun. But the hostile sentry gun is what you'd want to use to defend your base. You'd put this inside your base, and this will shoot at anybody, no matter what. If they have their hands up, whoop-de-doo, it doesn't matter, it will shoot them. The only thing that this sentry gun does not shoot at are your prisoners. So if you handcuff somebody and then bring them into your home, the hostile sentry gun will not shoot at your prisoner there. Otherwise, this will shoot at everything it sees. So this is the sentry gun of choice that you will put in your base. And the crafting recipes of both these types of sentry guns will be on the screen right now. My assumption is that they have the same crafting recipe, but I have absolutely no clue. I haven't gone in the files, but I'll show them on the screen right now. Additionally, and this is addressing the new airdrop system, every once in a while you might hear the sound of an airplane approaching your base. Now, you know, it very well might just be a regular airplane that's flying over, but it still might be useful to actually head outside, look out, and it might be an airdrop. Look at that, cargo airplane flying across the sky. It's at this point that you'd look at that and be like, do I want to chase after this airplane? Because it does drop little packages. In this case, it did drop somewhat close, and, you know, I better move quickly. Let's go find this, oh shoot, I'm out of fuel. Get in the helicopter. Basically, everybody in the server just saw this airplane drop this package, and they're all going to be running after this package because some good loot spawns in here. Some really good stuff spawns in this package. So you definitely want to be running after this. I think it's going to be dropping somewhere in this area. Yep. And so at this point, you need to get your weaponry. You need to be on the lookout for any sort of players. Oh, wow. That is a lot bigger than I expected. I thought that was going to drop for, like, basically right above where I am. But it's just going to create a massive feast of players that are all trying to get these items. Rust has this same exact system in their game, and it works fantastically. Ow! Ow! Rust has this same system in their game, and it works fantastically in there, and it also is going to work amazing in Unturned. As you can see, we have this little package here. You can press F on here, and we got some military stuff. We got some saber tooth, so we didn't get that much stuff. I did play around with this before, and I got a dragon fang and a grizzly in the package, but you know, it's all just military stuff that spawns in this package. You'll quickly get your stuff, and you'll run the heck out of there back to home base. And then also keep in mind, you're playing on a PvP server. Everybody's going to hear that airplane. They're all going to be running here, and it's just going to be a massive murder fest around that package. So that's why you also need to consider, is it worth it for me to intercept this package? It's pretty risky. There's all sorts of different reasons why you may want to go after that package or may not want to go after it. It also just creates a lot more things to do to spice up the Unturned PvP experience. I love everything about that. It works great in Rust. I'm excited to see it in Unturned. Lastly, there was a new zombie type added. I remember I mentioned this in the beginning of the video. Now, last week we had flamer zombies and flanker zombies. The flamer zombies, well, were in flames. They were on fire. And when you shot them, they exploded in a ball of fire, and they caught all the other zombies on fire. And then there were also flanker zombies that could go semi-invisible and try to attack you from behind. This week we had the new acid spitter zombies. Check these guys out. So I just now found one. I will put the spawn rate of these zombies on the screen right now. I believe the zombies that were added last week actually have a 2% chance of spawning, so they're very, very rare. Acid spitters are also going to be similarly rare, I would assume. And so finding this guy isn't going to happen very often, and you can distinguish these guys by the acid that is spewing out of their mouths. So they're very just look at them. So I'm not really sure of the best way to approach them. I guess the best way would just be shoot them in the head before they even catch you. But let's say you're wandering about and you accidentally catch the attention of an acid spitter zombie. He will cover his mouth in junk and he will shoot acid at you. Look at that. Look at how bright this stuff is. My God. Oh, wow. Oh, geez. Oh, okay. That's... Oh, this has made a lot more sense now. Okay, so he creates a giant puddle of acid on the floor that is not very beneficial for you to stand on. So make sure you are not standing on top of the acid. I thought the purpose of the acid spitter zombie was to shoot acid specifically at you, but it turns out that it seems that his main purpose is to just create a giant pool of acid on the ground. So that's pretty cool, to be honest. Now, I think a lot of the zombies, or the ability zombies that have been added in the past few weeks, aren't designed to be like insanely difficult, like bosses, like mega zombies, but mostly just something for you to strategize about. You know, flamer zombies, you got to make sure that you sneak around them if you don't have some sort of firearm. And the flanker zombies, you just got to keep an eye out for. And you also need to especially keep an eye out for them at nighttime, because they're actually really difficult to see at nighttime. The acid spitter zombies, I would imagine you need to be careful about getting them indoors, because if you get them indoors, they might put some acid and trap you in a corner, and then you'll sit there and be sizzled to death. I mean, there's all sorts of different aspects that need to be considered because of these ability zombies, and I love them. I think it's an amazing way of adding difficulty to the game, just somewhat, not too crazy, by just adding some more strategy when it comes to killing these kinds of zombies. I think it's all awesome. That does pretty much wrap up everything that was added in Unturned 3.15.10.0. There were also some minor tweaks and fixes and improvements that were not covered in this video because they were minor, but if you guys like to check those out, as always, I will put the full update post in the description down below. Thank you guys so much for watching. Make sure to rate, comment, subscribe, and do all that gibberish, because MeLikeBigBoom is out.